As promised, this video is going to be all about our brushes. So in case you got multiple brushes, maybe you got the brush set, I just want to go over what the brushes are and how to use them in different ways. Let's start with the easy one. This is the eyeshadow brush. It's got a fluffy end here and a dense end here. I absolutely love this. This is perfect for applying eyeshadow. You can go back and watch my eyeshadow tutorial if you want to see how I use this. The next brush is the 3D foundation brush. And this is the brush that I used in the tutorial. It's the number one brush that I recommend for everyone. It's just a really nice medium coverage brush. You can do so much with it. This little end, you can blend out your brightening shade, blend all over with it. It's just a really nice universal brush. My favorite end is this bunny tail end. I think this is a perfect end for blending in your makeup all over. I think it does the best job. If you can't tell, I love the 3D foundation brush. This is probably the brush you got. If you didn't get the 3D foundation brush, there's a good chance I recommended the buff brush. This is the buff brush here, and as you can see, the difference is that this is going to be a higher coverage brush. The bristles are shorter and they're closer together versus this fluffier end. The bristles are a little longer and a little more spread out. This brush is a high coverage brush because it's going to compact the makeup closer together and a little bit thicker on your face. So if you're someone who has excess redness, melasma, acne, anything like that, I might have recommended this brush for you. But don't be afraid of higher coverage. If I'm gonna get photos taken or I have like a high glam, I want my makeup to be like really, really looking good, I will use the buff brush and I absolutely love it. This is a great brush to have. The next brush you may have gotten is called the detail brush. This brush I love, love, love for contour. It is amazing at this end is nice and fluffy, but it's also flat. So when you're going into your contour, it is going to help stamp it and put it right where you want it to go. It's very precise at applying that contour where you like it. Tons of ladies love the coverage that this gives. So they will apply their foundation with this as well. And it leaves a really pretty medium coverage look as well. I love this tiny little end here. If I'm applying my makeup with a brush, this is what I'm using to put on my brightener shade. I think it just gets in all those little nooks and crannies and does a really great job of applying your brightening shade and buffing it out the way you want it. Another brush I may have recommended to you that's another favorite of mine is called the blush and bronzer brush. So as you can see, this end is a really big fluffy end. If you got this, use this to apply your bronzer. I would just tap tap into your bronzer and then buff it all over into your face, and it's perfect at applying that light layer of bronzer that you want without it getting too overpowering. And I also really love to apply my setting powder with this. I'll just swirl in my setting powder, put it where I want it to go. This end right here is very similar to the 3D foundation brush. So if you have this, this would be a good end to blend with as well. I love it for applying my blush. I think this brush does a really nice job of just distributing that color, and that if you got a gloss shade, it distributes that gloss all over so you get that really pretty shine instead of that gloss just compacting in one spot. It spreads it out really nicely. So this is the blush. This is the blush end. This is the bronzer end. The last brush that I'm going to talk about is called the shape brush. As you can tell, this is a really, really light coverage brush. Look at how long the bristles are and how spread out they are. I absolutely love this brush in the summertime to even out my skin tone, right? I don't want to have a ton of makeup because it's hot. I will apply with this brush and blend with it. It does such a beautiful job. I love this little fluffy end for sometimes if I get a little crazy with my eyeshadow, I will take it and just fluff that out. Or I will take, if I want to get really precise with my setting powder, I'll go into my setting powder and go under my eye, and that will just help get in those nooks and crannies. This is a really good brush for applying your bronzer as well. Swirl into your bronzer, tap it on. Anything light coverage is going to be great for bronzer. I hope that was helpful in explaining the brushes. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. I'm happy to answer questions. If you need a brush recommendation based on your skin, you're not liking the brush you got, shoot me a message. Let's visit about it. I went really fast in this video, so if it was too fast for you, go to my Facebook page. I have tons of tutorials. All you'd have to search is like detail brush, and it will show you the ways you can apply your makeup, or reach out and I can tag you in the videos.